Hello friends and potential friends. Well, today is October 1st, which means I've been home for about a month. Now you'd think that by now I'd have everything all cleaned up and ready to go for my winter crop, but unfortunately that's not really the case. You see, since September 1st, my weather station out there has recorded 20 inches of rain, and only a third of an inch of that came from the hurricane that passed by last week. It's been raining just about every day. In fact, I've got some sprinkles hitting me right now. But I've been getting out whenever I could, cleaning up as much as I can, trying to get the raised beds ready to go because I'm kind of under a deadline. But we'll look at that in a moment. If you look behind me, that's my ginger and turmeric tower. You almost can't see it because of all the weeds, but I've been waiting for that to start dying back. There's a little bit of dieback near the top of the tower, but most of the plants just keep on growing. So I'll be waiting for a while before I take that thing apart. And that's not really time sensitive, because generally what I do is when I take it apart, I do the harvest, I go ahead and amend the soil, and then I pick out rhizomes and go ahead and plant them. Just put it back in there and forget about it, and sometime next spring, May or June usually, they'll start popping up again. But let's take a look around real quick and see what the rest of the garden is looking like. Up here on the patio, which is still rather overgrown, I've got cuttings that I brought back from Idaho. Got some cactuses over here, which I'm hoping turn into prickly pear cactuses. A few more pineapples still up here. And of course the ginger and turmeric. It's growing good. I suspect I'm going to get a good harvest this year. Out in the main beds, we have sweet potatoes that I'll be digging sometime in the next month. Some pineapples still growing here. In this bed we have some sweet potatoes that I'm not sure how they got there, and that concerns me because I don't think I planted any slips in there. Rosemary's doing good. And over here in the bed where I grow my slips, a lot of the slips are growing on their own. I'll be digging those up sometime before Thanksgiving too. But meanwhile, if you saw my first video after I got home, I was worried that the comfrey was gone. Well, it's starting to come back. Got a little bit over here, and that looks like another one right there. So that's coming back, and I even had one basil plant that oversummered itself. Most people worry about overwintering plants. Down here we worry about getting them through the summer. One of the things that's concerning me though, this is the bed where I grew my garlic last year. And I did not plant any sweet potatoes in here. But if you remember, a few years ago I did an experiment growing sweet potatoes from seed. And this is the bed where I grew them. They came back a year later, and while I was in Idaho, they covered this whole garden. I got lucky this year. There weren't enough of them to take over the whole garden, but they sure are trying. So I'll be digging into that pretty soon, just because I've never gotten a tuber out of any of those sweet potatoes I grew from seed, but I keep hoping. So we'll be seeing that in a video coming up before too long. As we walk back, Cabbage collards are pretty much done. And there's a few sweet potatoes in there too, probably from seed. I've got a shishito pepper that's still trying to produce here. And yep, it's still trying. This was my corn patch. I've been slowly getting the grass and weeds out of it, and that's about all that's in there. But my other peppers, it was hot and dry for July and August this year, and they pretty much put a pause on things, although I did pick a bunch of peppers when I got back. Then the rain started up and they started trying to produce again. These are some jalapenos here. A little bit of everything. More jalapenos in there. This one I believe is a Scotch bonnet. Yep, that's a Scotch bonnet. And it's got a bunch of little peppers on it now too. These are some Puzajawalas. Then we get into the milder peppers. There's banana peppers up here, Jimmy Nardellos, some bell peppers. So they're trying to keep going, and quite frankly, it's been hot enough to where they're probably pretty happy. Had tomatoes in this bed, and I haven't cleaned it up yet to do anything else with it, but I am moving both of these tomato beds somewhere else. I've grown tomatoes in them for 2 years now. Still a bunch of grass and weeds back here in the corner with a few pineapples hidden amongst them. And then the asparagus, the patience garden. It just keeps on doing what asparagus is doing. And I see there's another shoot coming up right there. But I mentioned I'm kind of under a deadline. So let me show you what's causing that deadline. Since I haven't been able to do as much outside as I'd like, I've been spending more time in the lab. And as you can see, I still seem to have an issue with planting seeds. I just can't stop myself. I've got some garden peach seeds in that tray that I'm hoping to see germinate soon. Some of the Praxis cherry tomato seeds I brought back from Idaho I put in that tray. And the yellow plums that I brought back from Idaho, I put 6 seeds in that little tray there. Back in the back corner we have some cat grass. I grow that for Mamba. He likes to eat grass. And there's still a little bit of the catnip that I brought back from Mom's. But mostly I've been kind of going crazy a little bit with basil. Back in the back we got purple Petra basil and dark opal basil. The next row's got licorice basil, spicy globe basil. Then we have a tray of Thai basil and one of cinnamon basil. One tray of lime basil. And one tray here, my only real failure so far, was lemon basil. That was from seed that I saved a couple years ago. And clearly I did not package those seeds well because I had 0 germination of those. But I do have some more seeds in the house if I want to plant some more. Next row over here, back in the back, I've got 3 spaghetti squash and 3 cups of pumpkin pie seeds that I brought back from Idaho. Those are the ones that are filling up my mom's garden right now. Next to those are some slow bolt Napa cabbage so I can make some more kimchi this year. And then this last week I planted some purple Ruffles basil seeds and some holy basil. And it looks like the holy basil is starting to pop up. Don't see anything in the purple Ruffles yet. And then in the back corner we've got cabbage collards. I have to grow those. Got some slow bolt cilantro, some Lucella Swiss chard, I planted some cumin seeds back there. Then there's a tray of rainbow Swiss chard, a tray of Desico broccoli, and finally a tray of, if I can read that, Paris Island Cos romaine lettuce. I'm getting the brassicas going, and as soon as I get a chance I'll be building a salad tower out on the patio too. So these plants have got me under a deadline because within the next 2 or 3 weeks they need to start moving outside, which means I have to get those beds ready to go so I have some place to put them. It's going to be fun. While I was out there filming in the main garden, I had raindrops hitting me again, so looks like this afternoon might be another washout. But I'll keep plugging away at it, and hopefully I'll manage to catch up and get things going good and have a good winter crop this year. So until those sweet potato videos start coming out, I'll see you next time.